We are prepared for every scenario. And one thing is certain, if the ayatollahs miscalculate and attack us, they will experience a response they cannot even imagine. My many friends. The parade ground of Bahad 1 is just a small dot on the map of our country, but this concrete square holds great significance, far beyond its physical size. As I just walked between the ranks and shook the hands of the male and female officers standing shoulder to shoulder, with no barriers between them, Jews and non-Jews, men and women, secular and religious, from the city, the village and the kibbutz, when I did that, I wanted to speak with you at length. But they kept urging me on, we have to move the ceremony along. I would have been happy to speak with each and every one of you and hear your experiences. Many of you, indeed most of you, have already been in Gaza. Not a few of you have also seen battle. As I walked among you, I felt the wonderful spirit that beats within the People's Army, because that is exactly what we have here, a People's Army. The IDF, its soldiers and its commanders, comes from the people, and the people place their trust in the IDF. They place their trust in you. Honored guests, President of the State Isaac Herzog, Defense Minister Israel Katz, IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi, Commander of the Ground Forces, the Commander of the Officers' School, the Command and Training Staffs of Bahad 1, I salute you, and all who have come here from near and far to take part in this emotional event. And especially, I say this above all to you, my brothers and sisters, the bereaved families. Together with the entire nation, I embrace you in your pain. Together with the entire nation, I salute your sons and daughters, who bear the torch of Israel's heroism. We will forever remember the sacrifice of the fallen, their devotion, thanks to which our state exists. With the same measure of appreciation, we embrace the wounded, in body and in soul, who have gone from one war to another, the war of rehabilitation. We will continue to accompany our dear wounded along the entire path of their recovery. Sons and daughters of the graduates' families, you deserve this day. You deserve this sun that shines upon you, and the light that shines from you, because you are full partners in the success of these new male and female officers. I see some of you in printed shirts, with signs supporting your loved ones, and my heart swells. The values you engraved in these graduates are bearing fruit. All honor to you, the families, and thank you very much on behalf of the people of Israel, the citizens of Israel. And now, to you, the new officers in the Combat Command Array of the Israel Defense Forces. For many generations people dreamed of the exalted moment when upright commanders would lead the defense force of an independent Israel. From an exiled and battered people we became a nation rooted in its homeland, proud of its strength, ensuring its future. And you here, proudly represent this independence of the State of Israel. Here, at Bahad 1, you received answers to two questions: why command, and how to command. Why command? To lead, to influence, to decide the outcome. And how to command? With professionalism, with cunning, that is an important word, and with boldness. All this, in order to guarantee the eternity of Israel. The people trust you. I trust you. Honored guests, I too stood on this parade ground years ago, when I completed the officer's course. And therefore I know, the starting point of the officer's course is very different from its end point. Over the course of your training you acquired extensive knowledge. You delved into the foundations of maneuver, another very important word. You trained, you toughened yourselves, you successfully passed a test of character, both personal character and command character. And I want to tell you, and I say this to all the citizens of Israel, we have all undergone a similar process in the war of resurgence. The starting point of a war is not necessarily its end point. At the outset of this war, we saw the terrible onslaught carried out by the monsters in the Gaza Strip. Faced with the horrible cruelty of bloodthirsty terrorists, we rose to our feet and returned fire in a storm against our attackers. We exacted a very heavy price from those who sought our lives. We removed the choke ring that the Iranian axis of evil tried to place around our neck, and no less important, we brought back home all of our hostages, down to the very last one. The laws of war tested you. I met some of you in the field, as regular fighters, long before you arrived at the officer's course. I saw your determination up close. I was impressed by your courage. I salute your daring, and I salute your faith in the justice of our path. You charged forward into the nests of terror, destroyed enemy infrastructure, demolished death tunnels, and eliminated terrorists, a great many terrorists. The spirit of victory accompanied you at every step. And your mighty spirit, together with the mighty spirit of the entire nation, gave me and the government of Israel strong backing to make measured and bold decisions, in the face of immense pressure at home and abroad. We did not fold. We did not give in. From Gaza to Yemen, from Lebanon to Iran, whoever attacked us was struck by our arm. And if anyone still has not noticed, there are some important changes here in Israel's security concepts that have developed before and after the establishment of the state. In the 1920s, Zev Jabotinsky's Iron Wall approach appeared, a defensive military wall intended to deter and prevent attacks by our enemies. Later came the principle of leaving the fence, inspired by the British officer Ord Wingate, a friend of the Jewish Yishuv. This leaving the fence reached its peak in the days of the pre-state undergrounds. Not only defense, but also initiated attacks against those who sought to harm us. Our first Prime Minister, David Ben-Gurion, who believed in deterrence and decisive victory, stressed the need to move the focus of war into enemy territory. Now, in the war of resurgence, we have upgraded that principle many times over. We went far beyond our borders, deep into enemy territory, deep into enemy capitals, almost all of them. We operated in an unprecedented radius, across a very large range, in order to push away existential threats. As I promised on the second day of the war, we changed the face of the Middle East. And I say to you, no less important than that, and perhaps even more important, we changed ourselves. Today, Israel is stronger than ever. Those who boasted that Israel was as weak as a spider's web, well, they are no more. They received the answer they deserved. Our iron fist struck hard at every aggressor. But, my friends, with all the great achievements we achieved together, it is important to remember, just as after the great achievements of the Six-Day War, the Middle East now again stands at a crossroads. The extremist elements refuse to give up. They are reorganizing in order to challenge us again. We do not rest on our laurels. We are prepared and ready to defend ourselves against any challenge. We are acting in close coordination with our great ally, the United States. I have conveyed to my friend President Trump the principles which, in Israel's view, must guide any negotiation with Iran. We are prepared for every scenario. And one thing is certain, if the ayatollahs miscalculate and attack us, they will experience a response they cannot even imagine. As for Gaza, our forces are tightening their grip on the Strip from every direction. You were there. You know. In accordance with the war aims we set, Hamas will be disarmed and Gaza will be demilitarized. We agreed with our friends in the United States. There will be no reconstruction of the Strip before its demilitarization. Hamas faced a dilemma, to disarm the easy way, or to be disarmed the hard way. But here is one more thing I promise you. It will be disarmed, and Gaza will no longer threaten Israel. There are further principles in our new security concept. Terror armies will no longer sit on our borders. We will not tolerate the presence of jihadist elements near us. Buffer zones, or demilitarized areas several kilometers wide along our borders, are a necessary requirement in order to reduce the risk of a ground invasion, and we insist on this. Not that the IDF will remain permanently in all buffer zones, in Lebanon as well as in Syria, but the principle stands. Another principle, no more containment of threats. No more campaign between wars at a low flame of constant fire. No more villa in the jungle approach, where you hide behind a wall from the predators outside. On the contrary, if you do not go into the jungle comes to you. And so we go out and preempt the danger. We will therefore act again and again to neutralize risks in the area, as needed. And of course, we are working to tighten our alliances. Next week, the Prime Minister of India, a huge global power, my close friend Narendra Modi, will visit Israel. And of course, you surely know that a few days ago I returned from another official visit, the seventh since President Trump's election to his second term, where I met with Israel's greatest friend, the President of the United States, Donald Trump. There is no government, I repeat, no government, that has strengthened relations with the United States as we have, state to state, leader to leader. In the American National Security Strategy published recently, and it is worth paying attention, the United States defined only one country in the world as a model ally, the State of Israel. Why? Because we have our own independent strength, the willingness to fight for ourselves, the willingness to defend our security. We welcome this close cooperation with the United States, and we appreciate the generous financial assistance we have received over the years from the American government. But at the same time, we are advancing a policy of independence in building our force. So here is another major change in our security concept. Over the coming decade, we will completely phase out American financial support in our defense budget. We will move from aid to partnership between allies. We will reduce dependence on external actors and develop, by ourselves, capabilities that will guarantee our qualitative edge on the battlefield of the future. Dear male and female officers, at the starting point of the course you are cadet fighters. At its end, you are full-fledged commanders. From today you will set high demands for your soldiers, to strive for perfect execution, to strive for operational success. But I ask you to always remember, behind a tough exterior there must be a warm heart, attentive to those around you. I know, we all know, that 4 officers from your course fell in battle: Omri, Aaron, Ron, and Noten. May their memory be blessed. Noten's mother, Michal Ben Yitzhok, described her feelings when officers from the Egoz unit brought the family her son's vest. Michal wrote that from Aaron the high priest, who bore on his heart the names of the children of Israel, to the vests of the fighters who carry the people of Israel on their backs, one single thread runs through. Many thanks to you, the officers, and to your fallen comrades, the heroes. Thanks to you, that thread, our thread of life, remains whole. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and guard the eternity of Israel. Thank you.